Credit to TV3, credit to TV3, to TV3. A higher Delia TV. So Akwatia reporting. Now allegedly, yes, Nana B. Sorry, Justin Kodua. Yeah, any boys no NDC posters. Yes, or multi NDC posters. Allegedly, in Kotia report a few grounds over. I TV3 and a report to him for credit to Akwatia. You go so report to scenes and the BCB and on Sabeka. You couldn't go to a story no name.
You have an issue with them taking off your posters.
They just drop here. There's Justin Kodua, the General Secretary of MP.
Someone says Maki, you also say Justin Kodua.
Justin Kodua, I know him. I know his car. I'm in Kotekoli, and I know him. We are in the same constituency. Their national head office is in Kotekoli. So I know him, and he dropped with his boys. They were taking off our posters, NDC posters, just close to the constituency office, and then we went to approach them, and his bodyguard dropped down to fight our people.
All right, thank you. So now we know that there's been a bit of calm restored, but we have exclusive footage of when that individual as well was being bandied into one of the police armored vehicles, and this is the NDC office. Up there is the NPP's office as well, and so there's really under 100 meters. You should move from the NDC office to the NPP's office as well in Akwatia, and so this is where everything has happened in the short space, and so we're continuing to monitor, and then we'll bring details for you as to exactly what's happened, and then get an understanding. There's no official of the party who is here. It's just supporters who've been here, supporters of the NDC who've been here until one of them was bandied into the police armored vehicles. We'll try and make a bit more sense as to this, but there have been lots of names that have been mentioned. We cannot substantiate any of those, but they feel aggrieved that their posters were being taken off by alleged NPP supporters, hence the altercation which resulted in the police quick intervention and quickly sweeping one of the individuals believed to be the instigators away. The police is not really far away from us. There's a police checkpoint here, and so we're seeing the presence of the police even here as they continue to as we continue to monitor the proceedings. And so it's based off on what we've gathered. They were making their way through. They alleged that posters were being taken down. Reason why they decided to confront them and ask that they don't want posters of their candidate taken down, and that resulted in what we saw. They will continue to pass here, that I can say authoritatively, because the NPP office is just up there, up this hill, and they will continue to pass here, but we are yet to see any of them as they've alleged. Now,
for that update, and my colleague Marina Beta is coming to us live from the Akwatia NDC office, and reports suggest that some alleged NPP supporters have removed NDC posters of the NDC candidate, and according to them, the NDC supporters tried to prevent the NPP supporters from doing this. The police then intervened, and they have caused some arrests. There have been allegations about some party executives being present when this was happening, but of course, that cannot be substantiated at this time because we don't have visuals to show you, and we'll try to stick to the things that we can see and the things that we can show you and prove. And we see the visuals there, the Ghana Police Service arresting some individuals there. We're told the military is also present. The NDC office, as we have been explained to, is very close to the NPP office. And so these photos or these visuals you're seeing now, they're live visuals from the NDC office, with the NPP office just down the road. We'll continue to bring you updates on this. We're bringing you a live coverage of the by-election happening in Akwatia now. We're covering all the polling stations and we'll be sure to update you as we go. Elections started at 7 a.m. on schedule and is set to go till 5 p.m. this evening. Back in studio, Roland Walker is here with our guests, bringing you analysis in studio. Roland.
Well, we're also not only live on TV3 Ghana, but also on 3FM 92.7, as relatedly the same names could be used in searching for us, TV3 Ghana, 3FM 92.7 across social media. As you do that, again, we have a number of comments from you, so we will try and then get as many views as we can by way of the comments coming from you. And I have this one coming from William Jikunu, who says, I think the NDC big men should go there and then make sure that these things are forestalled, as well as other comments that are also on our stream. But what would you say to something like this? Very much part of the atmosphere, but not related to the election in itself.
It's unfortunate. It's an isolated issue. It's just like what happened at the funeral. I believe the police have observed it. They will deal with it as quickly as possible. This has nothing to do with voting, and it has nothing to do with the election. But then it has the ability to degenerate into some other things. I'm happy the gentleman involved has been taken aside by the police, and this is what we are asking for. And for those who said that we have too many police officers at Akwatia, yes, I agree. But it's also because of the tension and because of what politicians have said, raising the temperature of the by-election at Akwatia. So kudos to the police, kudos to the IGP that is on the ground. He even has the Black Maria, the mobile prison. And I don't want to believe that some people have their breakfast and lunch in the prison mobile van. But let's comport ourselves, let's vote, and let's make sure that Akwatia by-election is a peaceful one.
What would you say to something like this?
I see the picture. I see how the police are dressed. You see, it's like they are full regalia and they haven't wearing bulletproof. I like that. Because sometimes
they are in their SWAT uniform.
Yes, SWAT uniform. And I like that. The scenes are good because they are enough to deter, but they are also they are police. So you see, it doesn't unnecessarily raise tensions. It also tells me that sometimes police are human beings at the end of the day. So if they are scared for themselves, they may make wrong decisions. They are carrying powerful guns there. But the fact that they have wearing this body armor and they feel a little bit protected, then they can focus on dealing with the thing and not on their own personal safety. Because sometimes what we do is that we send these policemen, into place without either equipping them well, without dressing them well, or without giving them the necessary body gear. If you see an American police or every reason going into any of this, the way they are dressed, the dressing alone gives them confidence to be able to go up there. So I'm happy to see them fully dressed. I'm happy to see them all protected and make sure, because look, at the end of the day, I want every single police officer to go back home safely. Because look, I'm always cheering for the police because my wife is a police officer. And her family members who are police.
Your wife is a police officer?
Yes. So I see the sacrifices they do. And I know that almost all the time they only come in for the blame. But we never really give them the credit, because if you are close to them and you see what they sacrifice day in, day out to keep us safe. If you are close to them, you see what they sacrifice day in, day out to make sure that we can go to work and come back safely. We will not always criticize them as much. So I'm happy, and I also pray and hope that the state will invest more in our police, especially into our anti-crowd policing, especially into how to deal with crowds, especially voting like this. If they have the appropriate gear, if they have the appropriate software, hardware, if they have the appropriate bodywear, if they have the appropriate training, then they will help to reduce these tensions and make sure that the violence that happens is reduced. So again, it should be more than just pure numbers. It should also be about the quality, the quantity of how they are trained and they are presented there. You don't throw somebody's son, somebody's brother out there to go in different way while protecting him. The first inhibition of any human being is to be safe, and they're going to do it. So kudos. I like the SWAT uniform I'm seeing. I like how they are dressed, and I like how they have put a kind of a shield around this guy to make sure he's so safe and protected. Kudos to the Ghana police.
And NDC, New Odate Mills is watching us from Finland. Good morning to you, Justice. Wishing you all the best for the day as well. He says that
the word is proven stated misbehavior, incompetence, or infirmity of mind. Now, this is what the Constitution and its framers have said. Now, what has happened basically, is that President John Dramani Mahama finds himself in the position of Pontius Pilate, where the Pharisees, Sadducees, and what have you had to present a petition and here for the removal of the Chief Justice. And basically for the Constitution and how the Constitution has been interpreted over the period, the president is only a conveyor belt in the circumstance. And so again, like Pontius Pilate, what you would have to do is to consult the Council of State. In this case, you do not have the benefit of washing your hand, asking for soap and water to wash your hands. No. The Constitution clearly gives a duty. A duty is cast on the president to act in a particular manner. Having consulted the elders, and here I call it the Council of States, a prima facie case was determined against the Chief Justice now removed. It's instructive to note that while this process penned, the president suspended her. I think it's important I make this point. If you recall in 2015, one Richard Nyama of the Progressive Nationalist Front or so, or Forum, presented a petition to President Mahama then.
And a member of the NPP.
Yes, a very seasoned member of the NPP, Richard Nyama, for the removal of an appointee of the NDC to replace something. Now, what happened in that? It's instructive to make the point. The finding that, quote, on stated misbehavior grounds, Loretta Lamte ought to be removed. President Mahama acted in accordance with the recommendation of the Niebua Committee and removed Loretta Lamte, consistent with his conduct and fidelity to the 1992 Constitution. President John Dramani Mahama has acted on the basis of the Puaman-led committee and its recommendation. It's a very simple conversation. The Puaman-led committee, and I say this with all humility, I do not, even for a second, say I am better experienced or knowledgeable in the laws of this country, of have better skill sets in evaluating evidence than my Lord Justice Puaman or my Lord Justice Asiedu, prominent jurists, eminent jurists on this 5-member committee. I do not think, and I say this with all humility, if I put the experience of all the 5 members of the committee together, I do not come close to that experience. They have, on the basis of the evidence before them, recommended that now removed Chief Justice Gertrude Araba Tokonu be removed on the sole grounds of stated misbehavior. That's quite instructive. What it means is that the committee having assessed, because if you look at the petition presented by Daniel Ofori, it's a mixed bag in the sense that there were issues of incompetence, there were issues of stated misbehavior. If at the end of the day, the committee's recommendation is founded on stated misbehavior, then I surmise that it is because the other grounds have been found to be without merit. That for me is instructive. Because if it were not so, the grounds for her removal would have included incompetence among others. Now I have heard lawyer for Madame Gertrude Tokonu now removed. My senior Ayuko to make the point that there were 3 petitions. And why did the president act relative to the petition?